Rescuers in China are racing to locate survivors in the wake of a powerful earthquake that rocked the southwest Sichuan province. Thousands of emergency workers have been deployed to the epicentre located at Luding. That's to provide help and relief. The death toll has climbed in the past 24 hours. 66 people are dead, but scores of others remain missing. Nearly 250 people have been injured. The government has upgraded its disaster response to the first level. That's the highest in its 4-tier system. Lo Minmin joins us live now from Shanghai for more on this story. Minmin, local media reports are saying that rainy weather ahead of it are expected to hamper rescue and search operations further. How are authorities coping?
The authorities are pulling out all stops. They have sent over 6,000 emergency forces comprising the army, the armed police, medical rescue, fire rescue, power and communications engineers, helicopters and drones to the disaster zone. And the full scale of the damage is just becoming apparent now after 10 aftershocks of magnitude 3 and above were felt since Monday afternoon. A river that had been dammed up by this debris falling down from the mountains had blocked off access to certain areas, and the government said that some of those debris had been cleared off and the people who were trapped were moved to safety. More than 50,000 people had been relocated, and several hydropower stations were severely hit. This is a major blow to Sichuan, which had already suffered from power shortage after a prolonged drought had dried up many of its rivers and reservoirs. And 16,000 people are cut off from communications after more than 300 communication stations went out of service. The government said nearly a quarter of them had already been restored, and meanwhile, hundreds of houses had collapsed, roads and expressways were cracked, and some for up to 150 meters. But the government said that all rescue channels into the epicenter has been cleared off, and the central government has allocated $7 million as a relief fund to Sichuan.
Minmin, it's a challenging situation. We've already got millions of people in China under a strict COVID lockdown. Now we're hearing that there have been tremors felt in some of these areas. I mean, these residents, did they manage to escape in time?
Well, some of these residents, they ran downstairs to escape their buildings only to realize that the gates were locked. And authorities addressed their concerns today, saying that in the event of a disaster, people's lives come first and they must be allowed to evacuate to safety. And only until the disaster is over, then COVID-19 risk must be assessed immediately and relevant measures must be taken. Now, people of Chengdu have endured so much, from an unprecedented heat wave to a prolonged drought, and then power cuts to COVID-19 lockdowns, and then now this earthquake. But people I spoke to, and it seems like the situation is getting worse as well. Today, another county in Sichuan entered lockdown for 4 days, and this comes just 1 day after the capital city Chengdu had extended its lockdown by 3 more days. But the people I spoke to who are undergoing the lockdown tell me that they have come to accept this as part and parcel of China's new normal, and they are fully prepared for the possibility that the lockdown could be extended for yet another 3 days if the situation doesn't stabilize. With the party congress, the Communist Party Congress, taking place on October 16th, when President Xi Jinping is expected to seek a third term in power, experts say more of these lockdowns are to be expected.
Minmin, thank you for that update. Lo Minmin there in Shanghai.